What if I told you that one of Africa's most perfectly adapted creatures is vanishing? Not because it can't survive in the wild, but because the wild itself is being erased. Imagine a creature so perfectly camouflaged that even when it's right in front of you, it disappears. The African scops owl, no bigger than your hand, with feathers that mimic tree bark so perfectly it becomes invisible. For centuries, this tiny owl has thrived in the woodlands and savannas of sub-Saharan Africa, hunting by night, hiding by day, a master of blending in. But now it's facing an enemy it can't hide from, because its home is literally being cut down around it. This isn't just a story about deforestation. It's about what happens when an entire ecosystem starts to unravel, one tree at a time. Let's start with what makes this owl so special. The African scops owl weighs less than a smartphone. Its plumage is a mosaic of grays and browns, so textured and detailed that when it presses against a tree trunk, it becomes part of the bark. Its large, dark eyes help it see in near-total darkness, and its call, a soft, repetitive prrrp, is one of the most familiar night sounds across much of Africa. For generations, it's been a background character in the continent's wild soundtrack. But that soundtrack is getting quieter because the forests it depends on are shrinking at an alarming rate. In countries like Kenya, Tanzania, and Zambia, woodlands are being cleared for agriculture, charcoal production, and urban expansion. In some regions, forest cover has declined by more than 30% in just 2 decades. And when the trees go, the owls have nowhere to go. Here's why that matters more than you might think. The scops owl isn't just any bird, it's a keystone species in its ecosystem. It feeds on insects, small rodents, and even other small birds, helping to control populations that could otherwise spiral out of balance. Its nesting cavities, often in old, hollow trees, are later used by other species like bats and smaller birds. Remove the owl and you disrupt an entire web of life. But the real tragedy is how deforestation is dismantling the owl's world layer by layer. It starts with the big, old trees, the ones with hollows perfect for nesting. These are often the first to be cut down for timber. Without them, the owls can't breed. Then the understory is cleared for farming, which means fewer insects and prey. The owl's food supply dwindles. Finally, the remaining patches of forest become isolated like islands in a sea of farmland. Owl populations become fragmented, unable to mix or migrate. Genetic diversity drops. Inbreeding weakens the species, and it's not just the physical space that's vanishing, it's the sensory world the owl depends on. These birds navigate and hunt using subtle sounds and shadows. When forests are replaced by open fields or noisy human settlements, that finely tuned sensory map falls apart. They struggle to hunt. They become more vulnerable to predators. Their soft calls are drowned out by the sounds of machinery and traffic. Some owls try to adapt. A few have been found nesting in plantations or even urban parks, but these are exceptions. For most, the altered landscape is a death sentence. Studies show that in heavily deforested areas, scops owl populations have declined by as much as 50% in just 10 years. In some places, they've vanished completely, but there is hope, and it's coming from unexpected places. In parts of Uganda and Malawi, community-led reforestation projects are slowly bringing back patches of native woodland. Farmers are being taught agroforestry, growing crops alongside trees rather than replacing them. In Kenya, some conservation groups are installing nest boxes in remaining forest fragments, giving the owls artificial homes while the real trees regrow. It's a slow, delicate process. Rebuilding a forest takes decades. But in areas where these efforts are underway, the soft PRRRP of the Scops owl is gradually returning to the night. Each call is a small victory, a sign that with care, even the most vulnerable species can cling to survival. The story of the African Scops owl is a mirror to a larger truth. We often don't notice the most perfectly adapted creatures until they're on the brink. Their survival isn't just about saving one species, it's about preserving the intricate, invisible connections that hold an ecosystem together. When we protect the forest, we protect everything in it, including a tiny, silent guardian of the night. Which other overlooked species do you think are silently disappearing? Share your thoughts in the comments. Your suggestion could be the focus of our next video.